Let's look at changing from an E chord to an A chord. Here's your E chord, and you strum all 6 strings. Now when you strum, be careful. Don't start your strum by playing really loud on the bass strings, because what will happen is the low notes will overpower the high strings you have. Start a little lighter by holding the pick more lightly, and then as you progress across, you can squeeze the pick ever so slightly and actually bring those high notes out a little bit. There's your E chord. Now when we switch to an A chord, you're going to utilize a guide finger. A guide finger is the same finger, same string, but different fret. Guide rhymes with slide. So here's your E chord. Pick your 2nd and your 3rd fingers up. Slide your 1st finger up 1 fret, and then come down. Now it's a bit of a squeeze to get all those fingers in on the A chord, but it's a very efficient fingering, and it's better than using this fingering. This fingering is really impractical, and I've seen that sometimes where it's 1, 2, 3. You want to finger it 2, 1, 3. So your 1st finger is squeezed right in behind your 2nd and your 3rd fingers. Just be on guard. Don't get up on the fret with your ring finger, because the note would start to sound muffled. You have to keep your fingers very straight up and down, so you may need to adjust your hand. And as is the case with all of your chord changes, there are subtle little adjustments you have to make with your hand, your wrist, your arm, your elbow, and your shoulder. Find these moves, and finally, make sure you strum the right number of strings. The E chord has a low E as a bass note. The 6th string open is an E note, so that's the root of the chord. But when you go to the A chord, you don't want to go and strum from the 6th string because it gets muddy. You want to strum from the 5th string. So how do I keep that low E from ringing when I move from an E to an A chord? After I strum the E chord and it's still ringing, notice what I do. I come in and I dampen that 6th string, and that way I don't have that overring of that 6th string open. That's accomplished by lightly touching it with the side of your palm while the chord's still ringing. So practice doing what I'm doing right here. See how it mutes it out. That way you won't have that nasty bass line ringing over the A chord.